Hit it! Na 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 na.
We are here.
Hola! Hey, welcome to a brand new episode. We are your doorman, and we are here to spread the cheer. Give you the good news about your ability to think.
Yes.
And we're going to start this game off. All right? My name is Evangelist, and with me, as always,
Steven in the building.
all right, well, as always, we
Wait,
come
first.
to you. Oh, cheers.
Michelob Ultra, the mules.
As always, we come to you with our thought process because it's absolutely important. Why is it important? We're trying to prevent this sheep thinking, right? It's much better for all of us to share what we think, share our experiences, and then come up with solutions, right? Solutions to our, more or less individual situations, right? We, for instance, we're here in Long Beach, California, and it would be a much different situation for you out there, let's say Montana, right?
Hell no.
So, I mean, we go through things. You guys go through things, very different situations. We just hope to come to a solution, right? For all, a solution for us, and you guys have a solution for yourselves. Anyway, with all that babbling, Steven was good enough in his research and his proactive thinking to dig up something that were brought to our attention by the Hodge twins. Shout out to the Hodge twins.
Hodge twins. Those dudes are funny, bro.
Absolutely funny, hilarious dudes. I like
They're
them.
not quite on our level
Right,
of
right.
comedy, but they're pretty funny.
I would say you bring the laughter. I don't know what I'm bringing. I'm still confused about
I bring
that.
the laughter, you bring the cheer.
I'll bring the cheer.
You're the Santa Claus of this
Oh.
podcast.
Hey, holidays are here.
Hey, what about Christmas music on the radio already?
Hey, I'm with it.
I like it.
I love Christmas time. That's my favorite time of year.
It's all the
Although
snacks.
if we could have Christmas in the summer, for me that'd be even better. All this cold, joint aching weather.
That is true. I often always think, like, I'm getting older, obviously. I broke my collarbone, obviously. Last night I had a softball game. It was cold, and man, it was tight.
It was tight. Didn't singles?
No,
Couple home runs.
they walked me 3 times, and I hit a double, but we lost.
So was that the end of the season?
No, we have like 147 more games, bro.
Ooh.
We played like January, I think. We're gonna test out this cold muscle tightness real quick.
Well, warm up.
I wore 3 layers.
Get the hot packs out there.
Bro, I wore 3 layers. I had a shirt, the black thermal, the jersey, and my Chiefs sweatshirt.
Oh shit!
Still fucking cold.
You know what I might be having have coming this weekend? Hoodies.
Oh.
Dorman hoodies. Huh? Anyway, keep an eye out for them.
Anybody who leaves a comment, since all you commenters went away.
Well, I mean, hey, everybody went away, to be honest. Who's listening to us battle?
That's true.
Anyway.
Our mom.
I mean, look, as far as our listeners are concerned, I mean, we're I'm not looking to get popular.
we're not gonna be popular with our.
I want to say this is my
opinions.
goal. This is my goal, right? My goal. If I have something to say that helps someone out there, right? Helps you to come to some great conclusion where you end up doing something great, man, that's fucking awesome. That's the goal for me.
My goal is to push our agenda and force you to believe what we believe.
That's a little harsh.
In that segue, what is that?
Well, let's tell you what the Hodge twins brought to our attention. They brought us an opinion from a former judge, and I'll read it. It says, I am a student of the law whose age is 85. It says, my first year of college was 68 years ago. One class I took was political science. A half page of my textbook essentially outlined a few steps to overturn a democracy.
No, let's time out for a second. We're only bringing this up because, as we do in every one of our podcasts, we point out what's going on, and we point out what things that we think are being pushed and what direction that the current leadership administration is going towards.
Okay, so what are we doing? We're outlining steps to overturn a democracy.
Which is what we are.
Number one says divide the nation philosophically.
Have they done that yet?
I think they're trying awful hard.
I think they.
You know, we'll break that each one of these things down
Yeah.
a little later. Let me run through the entire thing. Number two, foment racial strife. Everything seems to be about race today. That's absolutely sure. Number three, cause distrust of police authority.
Oh my God.
You know what? We can definitely break down that situation a little later. Number four, swarm the nation's borders indiscriminately and unconstitutionally. Yeah.
It's like almost a roadmap.
It's definitely a current event, a list of current events. Absolutely. Right. Number five, engender the military strength to weaken it. Engender it. Wow.
What does that mean? We'll Google it.
I'll give you an explanation in a second.
We didn't have a whole lot of book readings when we was young.
Number six, overburden citizens with more unfair taxation. What? Anyway, here we go. Number seven, encourage civil rioting and discourage accountability for all crime. Holy
Wow.
Man, this was something from way back. This wasn't anything
65 years ago.
Yeah, anyway. Number 8, control all balloting. And then number 9, control all media. This was the 9 steps that outlined how to overturn a democracy. And then at the end it says, what was printed in 1954 as a possible diabolic nightmare has become an emerging reality. I hope that Americans will unite enough to pen a good finish. Go dwelling.
So was this his article that he posted was 65 years ago?
This was
or was it in 1954?
I don't know how long this article specifically was written, but the steps that they listed was written in something back in 1954. So if these steps were known, this was a plan known in 1954. I mean, not a plan that was executed or anything back in.
Well, they tried maybe back then, and look how it failed.
They listed the steps. This is how you do it. And then so if any of you guys are knowledgeable enough to understand what I've read, you would know that many of these items on this list are going on now.
All of them,
right? Let's start with one. Let's kind of go down and break down each one of them. It says divide the nation philosophically. Well, I mean, one thing that we have now is that not everyone is proud to be from this specific country. So we have this nation. This nation was built with these specific ideas, and then with these ideas, we've progressed up until now. Right now, in today's population in this nation, no one can agree, or there's multiple sides that don't agree on what's to happen or what's to be established moving forward for this nation, right? All the traditional ideas that we've held as Americans all this time, it's kind of being bashed. A lot of ideas are being overturned. A lot of of the heroes.
It's only being bashed because it's not cool to think the old way.
Yeah,
the old way works. It might not be the best for every single person involved, but the old way had a purpose.
Okay, so there was an idea, right, that was established with the Constitution.
I'm not talking old way like 1900s. I'm talking old way like 2000.
Yeah, I mean, but look, let's
Were
play
we in a
devil's
better
advocate.
place in 2000?
I'll play some devil's advocate, right? So there were things that happened, in the old days, like 1900s type situation, right? That when moving to the next generation, changes were made, and then what had been before wasn't there were many events that were
Right.
what was established before didn't make it through certain events. Like, let's say, like the Great Depression. What was before didn't make it through past that event.
Sure.
Let's say the wars, Vietnam War, right?
Well-
What happened prior to the war didn't quite make it through that event, right? Because the Civil Rights Act happened a little bit prior to that, prior to the start of the of the Vietnam War, and then so certain ideas, right? So even the battle with Muhammad Ali and his draft, his fight against being drafted into the war, right? So I don't want to say he single-handedly fought the idea of a draft and won, but after his fight of the draft, whatever events happened after that, we no longer have a draft, right? So there's certain events that highlight ideas that don't make it through past that event,
Right.
right? So as far as dividing a nation philosophically, is it always a terrible thing to demand change with certain ideas? I mean,
Well, absolutely not,
It
but
remains to be seen as far as what we're looking at right now.
The issue at hand is that if you didn't believe Muhammad Ali had a valid point, you believed it and you moved on with your life. Right now, if you don't believe what they tell you to
How do you
believe,
know that that's what happened though?
well, I mean, obviously it was in the news because if he was Joe Schmo, would have never fucking been a big deal.
Right.
But he was the biggest, baddest man on the planet at the time. So of course it was going to be news, and it was in print. So it took a while for the articles to come out. But now I'm saying, if somebody like Muhammad Ali came out and said, I'm not going to go to war because they didn't do anything to me. Valid point, sure. But now he's a hero immediately, right? When, I read today that the Coast Guard's given a $50,000 sign-on bonus. $50K, because their numbers are so low. But you want to know why their numbers are so low? Because they mandated the vaccine for the military, and a lot of them said, well, I ain't doing it.
Right.
A lot of military guys I know said that they give you a lot of stuff already that's unproven. Vaccines and shots and stuff like that. They're going to get another one, they don't know. And this is not a anti-vax speech, but I mean, why would their sign-on bonus be 100 times more than any other branch of the military?
Again, I think this is an event, right? We're currently coming through an event, and what is the event? The divide, right? So there's a current divide between right and left, and there's so many things that can be attributed to like the wedge, right? The COVID situation is definitely a wedge, right? The Trump existence in politics,
the
definite
TDS,
wedge.
the Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah. Okay.
That spread faster than COVID ever
So
did.
now couple that with this new administration and their dealings, right? So this huge ass divide is currently being witnessed.
Right.
This is the event, right? That we're kind of pointing to as the what's gonna pass, what's gonna change, what's gonna pass through to move us on to a new America, right? So again, pointing out the Great Depression was an event. A new America emerged after the Great Depression. The different wars, you can say World War II, Vietnam War, a new America emerged after these situations. What's the new America? What new America will there be or will we see after this current event?
I think much like the phoenix rises from the ashes, the old ways are bound to come up. Because there's so many people that are just so fed up and so tired of all this bullshit that happens every day. I mean, going just by the bullet points, I mean, crime, race, every time you turn around. I mean, there's videos everywhere of people just being ballsy as hell because there's no respect for right and wrong, and there's damn sure no respect for law enforcement. So they can do or say whatever they want and get away with it.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because, growing up how we grew up, whether we got along with the police on a daily basis or not, you still had respect for that shield. That shield stood for something. Now, as I said before, that shield is a target. But anytime somebody's in some serious shit and they call 911, nobody's calling the fucking fire department in a situation. Nobody's calling an ambulance. Everybody wants a cop when they need a cop.
Sure.
And I've said it before, and this might be crazy, but if I was a police captain during all this defund the police bullshit, I'd have unplugged the fucking phone.
I mean, you know what? It would be. I think it would be a good idea for them to take on that approach. In all honesty, right?
I mean,
if there's situations where, police aren't respected, right? Then remove their services from that situation.
Right.
Right.
The Purge, the movie The Purge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got some valid points.
Sure.
I mean, there's one day a year, right?
Okay, I had a discussion with a buddy of mine, right? Because in my mind, right, because I'm sure you're familiar with myself and my family on how close knit we are. So we in all honesty, we may or may not need to call the police services, right?
Right.
I could just call family members, and we would be okay. We would be anyway. My point, as far as that I want to make about police authority, right? There is a sizable population of the American people that will absolutely need the services of the police, right? So is the answer to defund them? No. I want to make the argument that what needs to happen is they need more training. They need more. There more should be required of them, and then so with those more requirements, there should be a little bit more funding.
More funding, yeah.
Right? And then, but what also needs to happen is the accountability factor, right? We've said it before. There is no room for an overweight police officer.
Yeah.
There is no room for unhealthy police officers.
For somebody who can't do the job.
Right.
There's no room at McDonald's if you can't fry the fries fast enough.
Right.
So there should be an absolute, bottom level.
If you can't run down a perp that's,
50 yards away.
Right. If you can't run them down, then you have no business wearing that badge or being on any beat.
You can't close the gap, then you belong as a dispatcher.
Right. Right. So, as far as the accountability, we need to help. We need to hold the police to that standard. Right. So again, it's not about defunding them. It's about providing more funding for that. Right. Providing more funding and more accountability in that situation.
Sure.
We don't want an absolute police state.
No.
Right. We don't want more and more regulations that these police have to. We just want safety.
I mean, look at when the White House, whoever may be in charge, when they call for martial law, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody freaks the fuck out. Everybody. Doesn't matter if you're pro law enforcement or against law enforcement. When you see a tank rolling down your street because some shit's going down and the police can't handle it, and the president or whoever the military declares martial law, everybody's freaking out. They can't do that. I can't have that in my front yard. This is the crazy. But when you need somebody to come break up somebody from breaking in your house and you're not Evan or myself or anybody who is not the first calls to the cops, then you have to really think about how much you do need the police.
Sure.
I mean, even working in the bar, bouncers not even close to police officers. The worst situation a bouncer can walk into is a fight between a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a man, and a wife. Worst thing, because the girl's gonna hit the dude, and if the guy hits the girl back, and we take the guy out, what's that girl gonna do? 99% of the time,
cry about him, or
don't do that. And then we're the assholes for getting in the middle.
Turn on us.
Which is why domestics are the worst. Like, cops are in the car and they're like, we have a domestic. They're like this and over. Shit. I don't want to go that. Because you just don't know. You don't know the situation. You don't know. And none of us are cops. And we can all sit here and dissect the situation months and months and months after it happened. Nobody knows what they would do in a split-second decision.
No.
Nobody.
No. But, and so again, that requires training. Those things require putting potential officers in potentially controlled, harmful situations so that they know how to handle themselves. Right. We don't need, there have been a lot of police videos or that have been, that have gone viral. Like, there was a situation where a woman, a female cop, was trying to subdue a perp from fleeing a situation, and instead of pulling out her stun gun, which she tried to do, she actually pulled out her revolver or her issue piece and shot the person in the stomach.
And said on the video, oh shit, I shot him.
Right. So, I mean, you don't need situations like that. So, again, more accountability, more funding for that, right?
But, I was trying to be a cop for a long time, and one of the instructors in the test, we're all sitting in the room, and he goes, before we even start the test, let me ask you this question. Let's say you wake up in the morning, get ready for work, you come, you get in a fight with your wife or your girlfriend or your husband or whatever, and you're on your way to work, and then you go through roll call, and you have your first call is a car accident. You roll up to it, and there's a semi-truck that crashed into a vehicle, and there's a dead baby in the back seat. Are you going to have the mental strength to go through the rest of your day and then go home and make up with your significant other and kiss your kids and all that stuff and be normal? When he said it like that, I was like, wow.
That's a lot.
I mean, nobody...
Psychologically, it's a lot.
Nobody knows what it is to be a cop unless you're a cop. And there's bad cops out there for sure. There's bad lawyers out there. There's bad doctors. There's bad people who bring your food to your table.
So again, because of those potential situations and because of those demands, psychologically, more has to be put into.
And I know for a fact I'm not built that way. There's no way in hell my entire rest of my life I will be able to remove that image from my brain. Just can't do it.
Anything with babies, and it's kind of rough.
I mean, think about it. Even if it's not a baby and it's somebody who, like if you're a male police officer and you got to fight with your wife and there's a dead woman in the seat, or vice versa. It's just something that very few people are meant, and I don't think most cops are built to deal with that. But they deal with the shit of the shit all day long, and nobody likes them because they're cops, and they didn't do anything but become a cop to maybe pull over their bully at one point. I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with those being bullied.
I mean, I'll tell you, there were some thoughts that ran through my head when I was going through all this tests. Like, I can't wait to see that motherfucker. But
yeah, but see, that's what you have to do. So on the flip side of things, right? That's what you have to anticipate when thinking about cops, right? So I get both sides, right? So as far as the division in philosophy when thinking about that kind of shit, I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard to see the reason behind distrust for police. So, again, but at the end of the day, the solution we're looking for is how can we move forward, right? How can we continue to speak on these, potential disagreements and then move forward and still say, hey man, you know what? It's about us being Americans. It's about us sharing this country, sharing the streets, sharing our cities, and you know, being okay with each other, with our differences, with our different philosophies, right?
And going back to, again, right and wrong, good and bad.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a sidebar. I'm trying to sell my iPhone that I have.
Okay.
And
iPhone for sale.
iPhone for sale, 12 Pro Max, 256 gigs. Anyway, so this guy on OfferUp says I want to buy the phone. So he comes by the house, and it's an Asian guy. Snatches the phone out of my hand, gets in his car, and goes to close the door. So what I did, I opened the door, I pulled that fucking guy out of his car, snatched my phone, and threw him back in his car. I said, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? And he looked at me like I was the asshole. So I told him, get the fuck out of here, man. Like,
Well, I mean, what was?
I have no idea. He didn't speak a lick of English other than he said, what the fuck are you doing? That's what he said. I don't know.
What?
I mean, walking away, I thought, was it a cultural thing? Oh, no. You're not going to fucking snatch something out of my hand and then get in your car.
Well, you know, one thing I've come to understand about today's world, communication doesn't seem to be a priority. Like proper communication, right? Like conveying messages.
Right.
It's not. It doesn't seem to be a priority on without that communication. There's.
I mean, there's no valid excuse anybody will ever tell me why he sat in his car and went to close the door, other than the fact he was trying to steal the phone.
That is wild.
And I got in front of it, and I maybe I was excessive. I don't know, but in that situation, what would you do?
I'd have done the same thing. Mm-hmm. I'd have probably added a couple of foot stomps and
Bro, I was just like, what? I was thinking there's somebody recording this somewhere.
If you don't have, if you've not communicated to a person what it is you intend to do,
right?
I mean, the assumptions can only be the guy is a thief, or he's or he's trying to pull some type of a prank,
or hand me the
even in that situation,
hand me the money at least,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Give me the money, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want with the phone. But you ain't gonna fucking steal from me. I don't give a shit.
Man.
I didn't even look. Showed up in a minivan. Could have been 4 people in the van. Didn't even look. But first of all, snatching something out of my hand. I'm a grown ass man, though. You know.
Like first off, you better tell me your name.
Snatch.
You better tell me your intentions.
Right.
Like what's going on. Right. Because that's.
But that whole thing was, I was thinking as time passed, he was probably trying to steal it and then gonna. If I whooped his natural ass right there on Orange Avenue, I would have been an asshole, right?
First off, being on 4th and Orange, and you come pull some shit like that.
Coming from Anaheim, bro. You don't know.
Goddamn, boy.
You don't know Long Beach, bro.
I don't care if where you're coming from. You're on that corner. Only certain assumptions can go down. Only specific assumptions can go down about being on that corner.
And I'm not the smallest guy. I mean, I'm not like Brother Evan over here or Brother Sugar or Spook. But when I come out, I mean, I'm not missed.
Right. I mean,
and this dude was, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, other than only he was trying to rob me.
That's wild. That's crazy.
I mean,
it's crazy,
bruh. I mean, it was a split second. I had him in my hands before I thought, oh shit, what am I doing? Snatched the phone and tossed his ass back in his car. Get the fuck out. Yeah. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, bro, Mr. Miyagi?
Snatching shit off my hand.
wax off this shit.
Oh my shit. Anyway.
But that's just an idea, like, there's no punishment for crime. He could have got away with my phone. I could call the cops. They're like, what's there we can do?
Right. It's not $900.
Right.
Right.
There's nothing we could do.
Yeah.
And but again, it's where we're headed, where there's just no consequence, there's no repercussions, and there's damn sure no accountability. It's a sad, sad day.
So as far as philosophical divide, I think that's where I don't know if we can get past divisions like that.
Right.
philosophical divisions like that. Like, crime should be punished for sure, right? I understand like certain crimes like I don't know where I stand with drug use.
Let me ask you this question. How do you feel about Brittany Griner?
Look, this is what I do feel about her. She did not like the conditions here in America. She didn't. She voiced her disagreement with all things American because of whatever her reasons were.
Because it was the cool thing to do, bro.
She goes to another country and she finds out what it's really about.
Just how great it
is. Just how free you are here.
Right.
Right. So that's kind of I don't know. I thought that was karma. I thought that was her karma visiting her in real time. It didn't waste any time.
I mean, talk about
smacking her.
Talk about bad timing.
I mean,
but you read the articles and it's sob stories and she's tough. What about the dude?
Hold on. Is it excessive to be locked up for weed or for marijuana? I think it is. Personally, for sure. Right?
Well, who set that standard?
No, I'm saying I think it is. I think it's an excessive situation, right? But again, she voiced her distaste, disgust for all things American, right? And now she's in a situation where she has to be
where she needs
kicking
America.
herself in the ass.
She needs
because,
America.
Man.
And you just think for yourself when you're in that cell for 23 hours a day and you're like, man, if I'd have just kept my mouth shut. If I wasn't trying to make, the top CNN headlines because I'm Brittany Griner and the WNBA has zero exposure. But all these people that are like bleeding hearts, like free BG, fuck that. She knew what she was doing. She's played for Russia for 4 years. She knew the law. She knew exactly how their stance on it. And yet, maybe it's a mistake.
You know what? But can we say, is she being, is she an example? Are they setting an example with what they've...
No, they're not. What they're doing is they're holding her because they want us, the United States, to give back Igor Volodymyr, who's the, second most top terrorist in the world or something. And they want to swap. No offense.
Is it worth it?
You're a WNBA player. You ain't got no juice with that.
Is that?
I mean, that's like
a viable swap?
That's like me asking, hey, I'll trade you your Chargers jersey for a T-shirt from fucking 5 for 10.
No, sir.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
No.
I mean, it's a absolute boiled down example, but that ain't gonna happen, and that's the only reason they're holding her. They gave her the max, which is what they do. And what about the dude that's been there for 3 years? That's not a celebrity or an athlete.
Wow.
And people are like, oh, you bet your ass if it was LeBron. Well, maybe. But
maybe.
The law is the law. They don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of exceptions. There's a lot of variations to things that, what could happen. But this is the case, right? Mm-hmm. The case is, she voiced her dislike for America, and then she's overseas serving time in a Russian prison.
I don't understand why you would even get on a plane and go to Russia after you said what
no,
you said.
I don't understand why she would even reach out to America at this point.
Oh, bro.
Right? Why are you going to reach out?
No accountability.
Right.
I never said that.
Because what? Because you're an American now? Mm-hmm. I don't get it. That's the part I don't get.
Yep.
Right? Again, am I a fan of people getting locked up for marijuana or THC? No, not a fan of it. But am I a fan of police authority, police enforcement? I'm not really a fan of regulations and enforcement in that way, right? Like keeping us safe keeping a population safe doesn't necessarily require, everyone being locked up. Right? You lock up murderers. You lock up people who, drunk drivers who crash into people and kill. Rapists, pedophiles, all of those people. Lock those folks up. Mm-hmm. But people who are, who have issues like, that lead them into drug use, do you lock them up? No, I don't think so.
Well, again, you got to look at who started all this stuff.
Yeah.
Who started the crime bill? Who started the?
Was it the Democrats?
I think so.
What?
I think it was Sleepy Joe himself.
Was Kamala Harris involved?
Oh, single-handedly
in locking up
responsible for the locking up of 30,000 African Americans in the state of California
for drug use.
for drug use.
For drug use as small as marijuana.
Nah, bro, she's pro-black,
Sure.
bro.
I mean, anyway,
When it's convenient.
again, we could go back and forth with all the things that have happened over the years, where these people on either side have done terrible things, right? But again, we're pointing back to this bullet point where he says that they divide the nation philosophically. I mean, this is where we are.
Look at the rabbit holes we just went down talking about this one bullet point.
One bullet point, right? This is where we are. And it kind of ties in with some of the others. Let's go down to the other. So it says foment racial strife. That could be definitely tied into all of that, right?
Come on.
The philosophical divide. That's part of it. They're
All you ever have to, you know who's responsible?
racism is huge. It's
You know who's responsible for the
thing.
race card? Johnny fucking Cochran.
He did. It was his fault.
Hands down, bro.
What was that?
What did he say in the documentary and the movie that I watched both twice? They were losing that case. OJ was losing that case, and they came into a meeting, all of them together, OJ included, and said, "We have to play the race card."
Wow.
And he knew for a fucking fact that was going to work, and he did, and they got off. They got OJ. Who else? For the longest time, I thought OJ's oldest son did it, because they're identical. I mean, size, nature. It was dark.
Shit.
He hated Nicole because she was white.
Wow.
But I mean, you can't ignore the evidence.
That's one spin I never even
OJ is
considered.
a guilty motherfucker, man.
Look, listen. I don't know who to. I mean, are there racist people in America? Hell yeah.
100%.
There's racist people.
Mhm.
I mean, we're a little racist.
No.
Shit. I mean, at one point, if you weren't Samoan, there wasn't shit I was willing to do. Anyway, I was a kid. I was a child.
I would have broke down, man.
I was a child.
I was like, look,
I
hey,
know,
hey, big squeak, I got a Twinkie, and you know,
I did play bodyguard when I was in fifth grade.
For what?
For a young Mexican girl.
For snacks.
For ding dongs.
See?
Ding dongs and Twinkies.
Oh,
You damn right. You damn right. But anyway, I mean, are there racist people? Man, there's racist people.
Sure.
Have we moved forward in our country to a point where
Oh,
racism doesn't exist in our systemic policies? Yeah, I think we're there.
Mm-hmm.
I think after the civil rights movement, I think we've gotten there, right?
And also too, it's just like when you do something, and you automatically have an escape, right? It's like I have a friend that got married, and I told him not to, and he did it anyway. And his reasoning was, well, there's always divorce. Like if you walk into a situation with an escape,
With the back door.
with that, and it's like if you commit a crime,
You're walking in, pointing at the back door like,
Uh-huh.
oh, it's like that.
and if you walk in to do a crime and say, I'm just gonna pull the race card. I mean, fuck you, first of all. But second of all, I mean, if that's the card that you play to get a pass, I mean, what is the old adage? You do the crime, you do the time, right? Not anymore.
No.
You do the crime, you get off, and you get a fucking reward.
Yeah.
And fuck the guy for trying to stop you.
I don't know. I always want to point to the why, right? Why would this one side? Why would the Democratic side or the Democrats be pushing for policies that invite the chaos?
Because I
Or
personally
sustain the chaos.
I personally feel that
Is it because they're looking to destroy America as we know it?
I think that's at the root of it, but I also think that in this most simplest form, they're appealing to the weak-minded voter.
Oh, again, so they're appealing to the weak-minded voter to allow them to keep their jobs, allow them to stay in office, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which they've held office for God knows how long, right?
Too long.
So what's the end game for them?
To make as much money as they can. And
Make as much money as they can.
And also be in power as long as they can.
Mm-hmm.
And control the population with, because they can say tomorrow that anybody who jaywalks is going to do 10 years, and that'll be all of a sudden they're hard on crime, right?
You know,
they won't.
There's like little viral videos that are out there that talk about something that Biden signed into law or signed a bill or something. Go look it up, guys. We do some research, but it has to do with something similar to what China has in place, leading towards a social credit score, right? That could, that could lead to sanctions.
If you don't abide by what the government says.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's where it's headed, right?
Well, I think they're trying.
I think they may or may not be selling our country to these billionaire elites that look to form that. I've always said it. They're looking to form that one world government, right?
Well, I think that they're just trying to duplicate what socialist countries are doing, and they tried it before. Through the history of America, there's always been some
socialist movement.
There's always been trying to be a socialist movement, and it lasts about 2 years, and then it goes away. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what this week is?
Oh yeah. Hey guys, get out and vote.
I think a lot of people are fed up. Doesn't matter what side of the party you
heard.
Doesn't matter what side of the line that you are on, but I think a lot of people are fed up.
I mean, one thing that I hope, right? So the idea of America has always been we the people, right? So the people, whether it's an illusion, whether it's reality, we the people hold the power, right? So, this is going to be a test. If there's, if people are truly tired of this democratic dominance of the last couple of years.
Well, it's not even let there be a Democrat, but these crazy fucking policies and these crazy rules and all this fucking, unification.
The government spending is
crazy.
The government spending is what I'm tripping on. Like all of this spending leading to more money being printed or money being, just the diluted dollar.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. The dollar has been diluted. Inflation is up. We need to put that to a stop. So whatever side that could at least calm that fucking government spending.
Yeah.
We don't need stimulus checks. We need people to get out and work. Mm-hmm. Go put in some work. Make go produce something. Go band together with like-minded people, loved ones, and create something. Right? Create a living. Right?
Start a podcast and fuck off already.
Right. Do something. But we don't need these stimuluses. We don't need to encourage people to sit and do nothing.
I got something in the mail the other day. It was a card, like a credit card, and I opened it up because I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I read the little insert, and it said, "This is a California recovery card." So I called the number, and the balance is like $600.
Shit.
You know what I did with the card?
Throw that shit away.
I cut it up into a million pieces.
Yeah, look.
Because fuck you, first of all. Like, just fuck off.
Yeah, $600.
What is that gonna do, bro? Like, you've been fucking me for 2 years. You could take the $600 and shove it up your ass.
Be honest, man, I don't get it. What I don't get is I don't get the people who think it's a good idea. I don't understand where you will take all this government money and then not understand that we're going to be taxed. We're going to see it in the price of food. We're going to see it in the prices.
And in the future too.
Right.
Your granddaughter's going to be paying for this shit for that $600 forever.
I don't understand. The people. I don't get it. How you don't put it together. Nothing comes to you for free.
No.
Nothing is free, guys.
Nope.
Right? It's always gonna. it's always gonna creep up somewhere. That cost is always gonna knock on your door, tap you on the shoulder.
Do you think it's free for the Treasury to hit a button and print $4 trillion?
I don't shit.
And also, remember during COVID when nobody would take cash, and everybody was talking about cash is going away, and all this other shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, talking out both sides of your mouth.
I don't know, man. Are we babbling? Yeah, we're babbling.
This is what we do.
There's a lot there's a lot to be discussed. There's a lot to be, pondered over.
Let's go to the next one.
We have cause distrust of police authority. We kind of covered that, right? You know, police are definitely needed, but they're needed to keep. They're needed because they need to keep us safe, right? And that's it.
And in Seal Beach, they're needed to give DUIs.
Yeah, right. Keep the public safe, right?
Right.
Safe from physical harm. That's it. Right.
Because me and him can't be everywhere. We're only two men.
That's it. That's all that we ask you, the police officers to do. That's it, man. Don't.
What if we could do
like ticketing? Like constant speeding tickets being handed out. All that's come on, guys.
Street sweeping tickets.
Street sweep, yeah. Come on,
Long Beach.
It's wild. That type of regulation or policing that needs to go, right? All of that is just revenue being stolen from the public, to fund whatever.
Take the street sweeping ticket out of my $600 you gave me, you pricks.
Right. Anyway, next one: swarm the nation's borders indiscriminately and unconstitutionally.
I mean, do we need to talk about it?
Right, guys. The border walls are up for a reason, right? It's the analogy is like your home. Your home has walls and doors and windows for a reason, right? You want to keep outsiders outside.
You know whose home doesn't? Nancy Pelosi.
Hey, right? Hey, we jumped on that story pretty quickly last week, right? We jumped on that story pretty quickly, and everything we had to say about it turns out was absolutely correct. I think, right? I mean,
there's something squirrely going on there.
I mean, okay, it's not absolutely correct, but a lot of people started to share in our sentiments, right? A lot of people started to share like, hey, this is creepy, right? This is kind of it's not a coincidence that two dudes were in their underwears with hammers.
It's also not a coincidence that the state police that were supposed to be watching that weren't watching the camera at that time.
Right. It was on the request. It was by request.
Yeah.
These guys were, hey guys, go take a nap.
Like, hey,
go chill out.
Go get a Coke and a smile, and don't watch the camera for 27 minutes.
Right.
Oh wait, this guy's whooping my ass. He won't leave, and Nancy's supposed to be home tomorrow. Man,
yeah, that's wild shit. Man.
Whatever.
I don't understand. Anyway, but the evil in that, right? And what we had to highlight was that they turned it into some political, right? Some political fight.
And
they want to point to January 6th. And
of course.
I don't understand that nonsense.
What they have to do, man. He's a MAGA nut. He was at the January 6th riots. He's got a shirt that says "fuck Pelosi." He's gonna cap her kneecaps. Like, you know what? I mean, Nancy Pelosi's not the most liked individual on the face of the planet. Didn't deserve any of that. Her husband, her, whatever. But at the base of this situation, this is again the person who's third in line to be the president of the United States, and no security at her house with her husband there.
Yeah, that
bullshit.
Is bullshit. Yeah, absolute bullshit. And then again, the evil has to be their concerted efforts to point to January 6th as a potential reason for this.
I mean, let me ask you this: Do you think it was?
You guys have got to understand how low these people are. They're low.
I just can't wait for the 911 call release and the body cam footage.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never fucking see it because it's some down low shit going on over there. But we'll never fucking see it.
Something stupid.
But the problem is that we're being misled on the situation that led up to the break-in. I don't understand it.
again, man, I mean, shit happens, right? The failed marriage, we'll say, potentially failed marriage. The guy's turning gay, right? So
You talking about Paul or David DeGape?
I'm talking about Paul.
Oh,
I mean, he has to wake up next to fucking the
Beetlejuice.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Damn.
fucking Leatherface. I mean, every morning. So
I never
of course,
thought
you
you
know,
would go
he's,
this hard at that.
oh man, look, come on, bro. She's Leatherface.
Poor Nancy.
Anyway, look, he has to wake up next to her, and then all of a sudden, he's like, I need that.
You know what I wish? I wish R. Kelly wasn't in jail right now, so he could do a Trap in the Closet Pelosi edition.
Yeah, but anyway, we leave it, allow it to be that, right? Allow your failed marriage to just be some failed marriage.
I mean, do you think it was a setup?
I mean, someone's interest, someone was interested in leaking this or making that happen.
Yeah, someone knows something.
Yeah. I don't know who it was. I mean, it was, but they're just trying to turn it around to make, again, connecting it to this bullshit and insurrection. It's fucking wild. To me, it's like,
crazy,
man, dude, that's bullshit. That was a smoke and mirror show. And then now you're trying to tie this in with this continued charade of the smoke and mirror. Like, cut it out, guys. It's smart people, intelligent people see that shit, right? And we're tired of hearing the dummies who can't.
And you also know what's weird about the situation is that they found this dude's ex-wife or girlfriend or whatever, who's locked up on her own for fraud and child endangerment and all these other things. And we're supposed to take her as a solid, credible witness.
Well, what about the one who said that he was a progressive?
I don't know.
There was an ex-girlfriend or something that said this man was a progressive. He wasn't a right-wing anything.
What about his family? That the day it came out when they released his name,
listen,
and they said
we've not fact-checked any of this.
and they said that his uncle or somebody said, I hope this is a scam. Like, why would you say that if your nephew was in fact that nuts? Like, nobody in my family would jump on a sword for me like that. My family, like, yeah, he's fucking crazy. You heard his podcast? He's nuts. That's what they say.
Oh, shit. I don't know, man.
It's just like the people.
Some folks were nuts.
It's just like the people when their gangbanger child gets shot in a drive-by, they hold their third grade photo of he was an angel. No, he wasn't.
No, homie Pookie was out there blasting.
Little pistol starter was out there. Little stomach ache.
Little lunch meat. Lunch meat was out there blasting, okay?
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's always looking for a way out.
Right, man. Look.
Somebody to blame.
We don't want to beat on that dead horse, but it's... Hey, next one. Engender the military. You know what? Let's look up the word engender. I'm pretty sure it has to do with, the gender situation
Letting the
engender. So as I bring up my dictionary.com app and look up engender, definition of engender: to produce, cause, or give rise to beget, procreate, to be produced or caused, come into existence.
So it gives an example: hatred engenders violence.
Oh, engender the military strength to weaken it.
So we don't need a strong military because we're bullies.
Okay, is that what it is?
Yeah. So focus on the military strength that we could just annihilate anybody at any time, and now nobody wants the military. So I said about the Coast Guard, nobody wants to be in the Coast Guard because of these fucking vaccine mandates that cause everybody to just force to retire. And if you got it, you could stay. If you didn't, you got to go.
Let's play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Dwight D. Eisenhower speech where he, upon leaving, it was him, I guess, right? Upon leaving, upon exiting presidency, he talked about the dangers of the military defense complex, right? And he talked about how that the military defense complex is the problem as far as like what's what's going to be responsible for kind of ruling the government?
I'll tell you this. I'm glad and very relaxed at the fact that we have the world's baddest military. That's I have no problem with it. They want to get more missiles and more shit they can fuck people up with. Go ahead, go get it.
I mean, I can see that.
Because if somebody launches a missile at us and our defenses kick in and knock that missile out of the sky before it hits land, by all means, take my $600 and go buy another fucking grenade. I don't know what to tell you, but I
definitely look. I definitely, because we are such patriotic Americans, I definitely want a strong military.
Yeah, you
have to. We want to be able to defend our country. We want to be able to, hold off these other potential superpowers, Russia, China, from ever becoming a threat to our nation. We want to be able to answer terrorism as we have, right? Go into different countries related to those terrorist organizations and show them the might of our military. I'm absolutely.
I mean, are you scared that the country of Madagascar is going to invade the United States?
No. So as far as that's concerned, as far as where I stand in our military, I believe a very strong military is what we want, what we need. Right?
And that's what they're doing, is showing the strength to make it seem that we don't need it. Oh, we're bullies.
We're doing too much.
Right. Oh, we're bullies.
We're doing too much as a nation with too big of a.
We shouldn't.
Our gun is bigger than the rest of the world.
We shouldn't have 6 branches of the military.
Right. Our gun's too big.
Fuck you. We should have 8.
Our gun's too big.
Well, SpaceX is kind of a joke. Like,
no. Hey, give it about 10 years.
Space Force.
Space Force is not going to be a joke, bro. Space Force is going to be.
You think it's a good idea that we have a branch of the military that goes and explores space?
Absolutely.
Why?
Do you think we're alone?
It doesn't bother me at all if we're alone. No, there's no alien fucking with me.
Well, I mean, as long as we have some type of answer for, I mean, it's not like, look, I don't think we're going to be.
Why can't we just assume we're not alone and not have an entire
branch? These people or if these beings have the capability to travel across space, I'm sure they can, do some serious damage to us at any time. But to have a branch of the military to at least be able to answer them or communicate with them or whatever the hell with them, collaborate with them, whatever. I'm in, right? Why not?
I think it's good.
Study them.
Don't engender Space Force on me, okay?
Hey, Space Force gang, Space gang. Bang, bang. All right, next one. Overburden citizens with more unfair taxation.
I mean, we
the whole beginning of this country, of this beautiful country of ours, was to fight unfair taxation, right? No taxation without representation.
I have a lot of friends that think taxation is theft.
It's absolute theft, right? So when people are screaming and crying about how the billionaires are able to hide their money from taxes, they're just being smart. Okay, you're the dummies. We're the dummies because we haven't figured out how to totally hide our money from taxes.
Mattress.
Okay,
cash it out. Mattress.
Yeah. Something. Do something, right?
And have good.
These people are not. Look, these billionaires are not stupid.
Nope.
Right? There's a way that you can hide your money from taxation, legitimately.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Let's do it. Right?
Have a son that works in the chairman of the board for Ukraine.
What? Listen. Why isn't this stuff being shared in the school? Because they don't want your dumbasses knowing. Okay. Right. So go figure it out. Go do the research for yourself. Figure out how you can hide your money from taxation, because taxation is theft. Okay. What are they doing with our tax dollars? They're sending it to the Ukraine, right? They're doing dumb things like paying for the defense of other countries.
Yes.
Right. While our country is falling the fuck apart.
Well, state tax, you can look at it in California. I mean, the state tax and
it's
all that shit's supposed to go towards road repair and all this other bullshit.
Go to the city of Compton,
man.
Okay.
Drive down my street one day.
Drive down Compton, bro. There are potholes on every single street in Compton. Okay? It's wild what California is lacking. because they should have a branch of California or some organization that comes to these streets and just
We should have a branch of the military called Street Force.
resurface
the fucking street.
right? I'm telling you, or go down the Alameda corridor.
Ooh.
That thing needs to be resurfaced.
And that's fairly new.
God damn.
In road years.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's falling apart.
that Alameda corridor is strictly meant for, well, not meant for, but it strictly services trucks. So I mean, I understand how it could be messed up, but then again, you've got all the tax dollars, you've been taxing the shit out of us. Take that money and then resurface it with.
But also too, though, they build roads for endurance, right?
Right.
I mean, that's why your cars aren't supposed to be too heavy and all this other bullshit. So they got rid of spare tires because that was ruining roads.
Yeah.
Like a spare tire.
Weird.
What about the dipshit that's got 900 pallets like roped to the roof of his fucking Hyundai? That's too heavy. That's heavier than a spare tire, I think. Like you ain't pulling that motherfucker over. But you're gonna pull me over because my Hyundai has a spare tire. Like, come on, dude.
Okay. Somebody's got some real issues over here.
Next.
Okay? He's got some real issues over here. Encourage civil rioting and discourage accountability for all crime. Yeah, man, come on, guys. You see what's been going on. It's been going on since the BLM Antifa riots. It's been going on, now with this encouragement of crime, because it's not actually a crime unless they steal something over $900. That's what's going on.
That law changed in, I think, 2006. It went from you were a misdemeanor if you were $4.99 or below.
Right.
$500 and above, it was a felony.
Right.
And I was working at Macy's in loss prevention, and I only know because I caught some guy stealing $477. I had to give him a fucking ticket from my office. The cops weren't even involved. It was a restitution ticket. Do you think I ever saw that money? And granted, it was Macy's, so maybe they're not going to miss it.
They
But
didn't see that shit.
I mean,
yeah, you gotta, you gotta somehow hold these idiots accountable.
it's felonious after 501.
Now, am I okay with protesting? I'm absolutely okay with protesting.
Mm-hmm.
But when that protesting turns into, rioting, that's
when the protesting turns into busting out a Best Buy window because you want a new TV, you've gone the wrong direction.
Yeah, rioting. Come on. As a kid in the '92 riots, it was a fun time. But as an adult, when you actually begin to own things, and it's like, God dang it,
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, watching the news that night when, people were rioting and looting and like going into CVS. What the fuck did CVS do to you? Like, you walked in there and you walked out with duffel bags full of shit. Because why? You were protesting for
George Floyd? Those guys walking into the CVS's and with duffel bags nowadays.
That's the thing, man. People do it because nobody can stop them.
I'll
tell you this, Brother Evan. If I'm in any store and somebody does that shit, I'm getting involved.
I was imagining that I was in a store that were those. What are those? The smash and grab guys. I was imagining what I would do, man. What a workout that would be.
I quote Cedric the Entertainer and said, "I wish a motherfucker would."
That would be a hell of a workout because that's a free for all, right?
Right.
You can freely smack somebody, and I don't think anyone.
Well, nobody would, but somebody filming it, you'd be the asshole.
No, but I'm saying, like, I don't think anyone would care. Like, you're in the middle of this smash and grab, and
nobody right would care.
Right.
There'd be so many people that would go viral for all the wrong reasons.
Shit, that would be fun.
Oh man, I would love it.
I practice my Tyson impersonation. I'm working on that uppercut one.
I would make them touch every piece of furniture in the store. I go, you want this fridge? Get in it. And kick it over.
I'm talking about those groups. Have you seen some of those?
Yeah, just grab one of them.
No, a few of them, man. It'd be like whack-a-mole, right? Mm-hmm. How many can you whack? You're like, oh yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I'm not a violent guy, but in a situation like that, it irks me to think that people are out there trying to take things for free.
Well, it does bug the shit out of me, man. But
it irks. Like, come
they
on,
walk
man.
into a store.
Do Do you understand that? I don't know.
They
You know
walk
what?
into a store and they see
I
me and
can't.
you there. They're not doing
Listen,
it.
I can't. I can't because when I was young, I too did stupid shit. I mean, yeah. But you know, I'm older, so there's a Bible verse.
Stealing a box of Little Debbie's is not looting. Okay.
No, we
You wanted some
used to
fucking
do those
cinnamon
beer
rolls.
runs and shit.
Bear claws.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't be a hypocrite and say, oh yeah, I don't understand where that thinking came from. I do, but just to see the acceptance of it, because we knew it was a crime in our days.
Right, and if you got caught, what happened?
We knew that we were going to jail if we got caught. We knew that bad things.
Now you can do it.
We
It's
knew
just
on
like,
the
oh.
side of the law. We knew what side of the law things would go wrong for you.
Now you do it, and if somebody
Yeah.
stops you, you just
Right now you do it. It's like, oh,
You're
it's
racist!
not $900.
and they're supposed to
You're
get out of
dead.
your way.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Control all balloting. Right. So with that move for mail-in ballots, right, that gave them a door. That gave them a doorway to pretty much manipulate balloting as we know it.
Also a window to see who you voted for in California.
Sure.
Florida's last ballots, they handed out the black envelopes. So you could send it in and nobody saw what it was until it was counted. In California, the ballot I got in the last election,
It was see-through.
wide open. Might as well have been hand the paper to the ball on the street.
It was a translucent plastic.
It was like literally almost to the point that if you circled Trump, the paper would just disintegrate. It's like Trump. There goes my vote.
Yeah, Trump had this little neon indicator. So
Yeah.
if you mark Trump, it's like it's
You dropped it in the
glowing.
box, it would
Your
just
shit was
glow.
glowing. Like, oh, there's a Trump envelope.
Burn on sight.
Self-destruction.
So they're doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, last one, control all media. We don't have to say anything. We really don't have to say anything. MSNBC, CNN,
NBC.
ABC, NBC, CBS, everyone
If it
is
doesn't
on
end
the
in Ox,
side.
it's wrong. I'm kidding.
Because even Fox, I mean,
Oh, Fox
even
is full
Fox,
of
there's,
shit,
there's, I mean, there are like Tucker Carlson. I'm down with him. The Five,
Hannity.
yeah, Hannity, I'm down. Because at least they won't necessarily be on one side, although they do lean towards conservative values.
You know who I can't stand on Fox?
Who's that?
Gloria Ingram. My uncle
Yeah.
Mark watches Gloria Ingram all the time, and man, she's annoying as fucking hell.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's there's a lot to break down here, guys.
I mean, they try to control Twitter, but look what Elon did.
Hey,
Fuck it, I'm gonna buy it.
Elon banged on him. Hey, appreciate you, Elon.
Man,
That was beautiful.
I'm almost tempted to reactivate the Twitter
I
and post fuck Fauci and see how far I can get.
We shall see. We shall see.
It's
the
gonna be
future of that,
interesting.
man. But hey, I hope we did a good job breaking down these things. I mean, these are our thoughts. A lot of messy, jumbled thoughts that we have. But hey, is it because we think we know the truth? No, not at all. We just want to prevent sheep thinkers, right? Like think something different. Think something that that is valuable to you and your home. Thanks for the yawn, the honor and yawn this month.
Fucking hell, bro.
Think about things that are valuable to you and your home, right? What you need to do is think for yourself, right? The sheep thinking, it's got to go.
And if you want to yawn. This is not communist China.
No.
Okay, I can do what I want.
Xi Jinping. Gang banging over. Chop chop. Anyway, with that.
On that note,
We gone.
we gone.